So thank you very much for attending. There are a few ways to keep in touch with us. If you are unsure, we have our Gmail account, which is caispto@gmail.com. We can also be reached on Facebook. If you type in at Bloomfield Case PTO at Facebook, you will find our group page. And you can also email me personally at gjordan with an E at blmfld.org. All right. So, in a nutshell, this evening, our meeting is from 6 to 6:30. We're going to start with a recap of the January meeting and just chatting about the Survey Monkey results. I'm also, Mrs. Williams was unable to attend this evening, so I'm going to share out her quick principles message. We will have a recap about what's going on with the Butter Braid fundraiser. We're going to finalize the paint night plans as well as the virtual escape room plans and have some time for any questions. I am your president. I'm Gail Jordan. Heather Resto is on. She is our treasurer, as well as our vice president, Tamara Butler. Ms. Latoya Lewis is our membership chair, but she is not able to join us this evening. So the Survey Monkey results, we really didn't get a lot of responses. We only had 4 responses in regards to the Survey Monkey, and there were just a couple of questions regarding what your child's interests are, what you're looking forward to getting out of the PTO this year, and what kind of like events or fundraisers you're interested in participating in. So I think what we're going to do is leave it open, and hopefully we can get some more feedback from that. I don't see any harm in letting it continue on and continuing to add it to our emails. So that's what we'll do going forward. And I think that's an okay plan for right now. In regards to Mrs. Williams' message, as I said earlier, she wasn't able to attend this evening, but she wanted me to let families know that the showcase submissions are due March 1st. That is for the talent show. Any of your students wanted to participate in the talent show, there was a document emailed out or a link emailed out that will take you to a document for students to sign up and submit what they want to do for the talent show. So the submissions themselves are due March 1st. I'm not quite sure of the date that they're going to put everything together. She also wanted me to let you know that the Taste of Case cookbook recipes are due March 8th. That was another email that she sent out that had a link to another document for you to actually add some family recipes to it and a story about, linking your recipe to your family. She would love some more recipes to be added. And then last but not least, cycle 3 assessments. So the STAR reading and math, as well as the DRP, are going to begin March 1st. I know it seems like we just did them, but because we started our school year slightly later, we started our first round of benchmark testing slightly later. So now everything's kind of feeling squished together. But next week, students will be taking the STAR and the DRP assessment. So keep an eye out for that. Any questions so far? Okay. Let's see. That was recapping January's meeting. There is a YouTube link if you would like to go and view the video.
Miss Jordan, I'm
Last
sorry, I couldn't get myself off of mute in time.
Okay.
I was just wondering, for the survey, do you think, I don't know if this was already done, if Mrs. Williams can have the students do the survey?
Oh, that's an idea. Sending the survey out to actual students. We could do a different survey for them that's more geared strictly towards them. I like that.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to hear what they have to say.
Okay. I like that idea. Thank you, Miss Eastman.
Mhm.
That'll be something we'll have to create. So for January, we just discussed different fundraiser options, the butter braid and cookie dough, readathon, and we also discussed the Zoom social hour ideas for students. So the virtual escape rooms, paint nights, and maybe even some dance classes. We actually successfully became a nonprofit 501c3 and have the documentation for that now. And I can add the link here. Let's see if it'll let me. If I copy the link address, I will add in the chat the link that can take you to, oh, I don't think that's it. Give me a second. I apologize. The link that should take you to last month's video. Maybe, maybe not. I can add it in the end when I end the presentation. All righty. So, butter braids. Miss Resto, do you want to update us on butter braids?
Yes, so I checked earlier today and we have 11 participants registered at the moment, and we've so far earned $175 from the fundraiser. We have 5 more days of sales, so the sales end on March 2nd. And I don't know, Miss Jordan, if you could ask maybe the teachers to say something to the students. Um,
Okay.
Peer pressure maybe works with the parents getting the kids registered. We are only doing the sales electronically, no paper forms can be exchanged. And I believe that link in your presentation is to the site to register your kids. And we did, Ms. Williams did email it out as well.
Yes. And the pickup date will be March 30th between 3:30 and 7 p.m. if you were concerned about that at all. And I mean, registering is super simple. I think this was probably the easiest fundraiser I've done so far. As a parent, it was quite easy. So you just click the link, and I will put this link in the chat too. And you just add your student's name, teacher grade, so on and so forth. And once you click continue, it sets up an account for you and gives you a link to share out to your families and your friends so that they can go on and simply purchase their order. And then it brings you to kind of a dashboard where you can keep track of who has ordered what. And I found it quite simple. So awesome. Thank you very much. The virtual escape rooms, we are planning on doing the virtual escape rooms on March 12th at 6 p.m., which is actually a Friday evening. Students will have 4 options. They will have the option to do a Doctor Who escape room, Hogwarts, Minecraft, or Pikachu. And what we plan on doing is having an adult hosting each room, in which they will essentially kind of like let the students vote on what the next step is going to be in the virtual escape rooms. So those ones are ones in which it's kind of like the choose your own adventure type of deal where they give you options on what to do next. So they're going to do kind of like a majority rule on what option they'll go with. And hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. We shall see. So put that in your calendar, March 12th at 6 p.m. And we still are looking for adult volunteers to host the rooms. It's really, really simple. All right, our paint night fundraiser, we are aiming to replace our April PTO meeting with the paint night. So it would be April 22nd at 6 o'clock. I will be putting the deposit down to book and secure the date. We're working on that now. I'm waiting on the invoice. If you or your child, honestly, I could participate too. I'm excited about it. Plan to participate. It's going to be $25 per person if you want a medium canvas, and $30 per person if you would like a large canvas. As of right now, I only have 4 people or 4 students that are interested in painting according to that survey. So we need to get up to 20 painters. That's the minimum in order for us to actually have this. And this is also a form of a fundraiser because 20% of the proceeds come back to the school. So the final head count is going to be due 2 weeks in advance of the party. So we're trying to have the final head count right before April vacation to make sure we're all set and good to go with that. So fingers crossed that that can come through. I'm excited about it. My daughter is too. We also were kind of throwing around some ideas for the parents and families, the adults in their lives to get together. We were thinking of maybe hosting a social hour or some kind of trivia or bingo night. I know I've participated in some through my union, and they're a lot of fun. So we were just kind of trying to get an idea if families, parents wanted to be involved in some kind of social hour. So please reach out and let me know if you have any interest. And last but not least, our next meeting is Thursday, March 25th from 6, probably 6 to 6:30, depending on, actually, you know what? No, next month we are going to be introducing a new liaison for our district, and she wants to introduce herself. So it may go a little bit longer than the 6 to 6:30 that we're planning on. But we will see. She said she only needs about 15 minutes, and I feel like this evening I really only needed about 15 minutes. So we'll see if Mrs. Williams has a longer update. So for now, I'll leave it as a 6 to 7, but may be able to leave out a little bit earlier than that. And our fundraisers for right now are the butter braids and potentially the readathon. We'll take a look at that a little bit more, maybe for May. And again, I will send out the link for the Survey Monkey if you're interested in answering. And we'll have Mrs. Williams send it out again, and we'll develop one for the students to take. And that's about it. Does anybody have any questions?
Hi, Ms. Jordan and everyone. This is Tisha Freeman Pollard, Faith and Joy Pollard's mom. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just a quick question. I have never purchased the butter braids. Wondering if anyone on the line has, and if you have a specific favorite that you like.
Oh, Miss Resto.
Yes. We love them. They come frozen, so they do have to be picked up the same day. We will possibly have limited freezer space if some people can't come that day, but we're not going to offer that up openly. So what you do is the night before you put it out on the tray, and then the dough rises overnight, and then the next morning you can bake it. And we like I like raspberry, so I prefer the raspberry one. My husband likes strawberry, so he does the strawberry one. But we've had, I think there's I don't do apple, so I haven't gotten the apple one. We've done the cinnamon one and the cheese one. I think we've tried them all, except for the apple.
Cheese one sounds like it's good with pasta.
Yeah, they're really rich, and you think one's not going to be very big when you get them, but they expand like double their size. What I do is I usually have them like on Christmas morning, I'll save one, and Thanksgiving sometimes, or Easter.
So you said that they're really rich. So are they super sweet, the ones that have the fruit fillings?
I would say, I mean, no sweeter than I would expect for a Danish.
Okay.
We do have a frosting that goes on top that you could probably eliminate if you didn't want it too sweet.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And I do know for the cookie dough, the only one I've ever bought was the oatmeal cookies, and they're amazing.
Which is my favorite cookie. I think it's the oatmeal cranberry.
Yeah, they don't have, they come chewy. So it's dough, but it's when you cook it, it's chewy. I don't like really crispy oatmeal cookies, so it was so good.
Okay.
But I know my in-laws, my kids went to a previous school before we came back to the district, and they did butter braid fundraisers every year, and two of my in-laws became dependent on them. So when we changed schools and they didn't have the butter braid fundraiser, they were like heartbroken. So the first thing I did when we were doing this one, I was like, hey, got good news. They were the first to order.
Made it happen.
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Any other questions or add-ons? All righty. Well, I will post this video on YouTube for others to see and share, and we'll see you next month.